My name is Dr. Antipas Harris, and I want you to welcome with me Tiffany Boyle.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Tiffany is the CEO of the all-new Emerge magazine.
Yes.
Yes, I had the great privilege of going up to Washington, D.C. with you for the launch of this magazine. It was extraordinary, highly professional, a lot of great people, many of whom are from right here in Hampton Roads. So we're so excited to get into this interview today. Her story is extraordinary. She was born in Miami, been around the world already in her young life, and now here in Hampton Roads, live in Newport News. So tell me a little bit about now, as you were, we were talking back in the green room, and you were telling me sort of what birthed in you this idea to launch this magazine. You were having some conversations with some friends, and
yes,
tell me a little bit about that story.
The group I was hanging around with at the time, they were struggling models, photographers, people in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. So on my way to work at the time, the idea just hit me, literally. And I was like, well, why don't I try to be that credible resource to promote them, to provide exposure for them in a professional atmosphere, to make those connections with the larger agencies in the bigger cities like New York and Miami. So the first concept was pretty much just for the entertainment industry, and then it just branched out over time to all of business.
Well, isn't it amazing? I teach at Regent University, and the university is built on the 7 mountain principles, 7 influential categories that influence the world. And 2 of which I see very prominent in your life. One is the media or communication, and the other one is business. And I find it amazing how you developed an organization that creates platforms for folks, right? But also to influence in communication,
yes,
right? From a Christian trajectory, right? Faith-based platform.
Yeah.
And so you talked to me a bit about how your commitment to your faith and your church, and then all of a sudden the Lord is branching you out to be influential in our society, in the culture, and to create platforms for folks in the culture. And I think that's pretty profound on several levels. One, you're young.
Now, yes.
Yeah. And then 2, you are female.
Yes.
Well, we can't, I think it's tremendous, and it's great for our listening audience to really pay attention to how God is able to empower young people with vision. And also to empower women to be influential in our society. I think it's phenomenal. Yeah. Today I was talking to a young lady who said she's in her 50s now, and he said all of her life she's been told what she could not do.
Right.
And now she's just getting to the point where she realized she can. And here you are doing it.
And that's our message, that you can do it.
Absolutely.
You don't let anybody hold you down.
Absolutely. So I wrote a book called Unstoppable Success. And you're all over that book. You are the epitome of what I'm trying to talk about in that book. How God has called us to rise to the call, and rising to the call doesn't always mean go to the pulpit and preach, although we need preachers.
Yes.
But rise to the call has to do with influencing society. And this is what you've done right here with the Emerge magazine here. And your mantra there is the new voice of business. Tell me about that new voice. What does that mean?
The new voice, we are promoting collaboration. We promote working together. We promote positivity. This economy is big enough for everybody to be successful in whichever industry you're in. So we provide those avenues in a professional manner to allow you to do so. We provide education if you don't know how to go about starting a business or how to continue sustainability. We promote, again, positivity is very important, and collaboration across all boards.
Wow. You said 2 powerful words that I believe is very important for today's generation, and that is positivity and collaboration. Oftentimes we exist as silos, don't we? We sort of, me, myself, and I get mine and you get yours. But I've noticed that young people today are more interested in collaborations.
Yes.
And the new way of doing business really is to collaborate. You know, I look at a cell phone and I see Verizon is operating it, and then I see, well, if it's mine, Verizon is, and then Nokia could make it, and then somebody else makes. It's like all these names all on one little cell phone, and all those are different businesses that have collaborated in some way. And oftentimes, I think that in our churches, we don't have enough collaboration to really influence society like we could. And so it's extraordinary to see a young Christian entrepreneur woman who is leading the charge to help us know what it means to collaborate. Emerge Magazine. In order to pull something like this off, you have to have extraordinary skills and working together with others. And sometimes the challenge is getting people around the table on the same page, because I'm sure when you pull these resources together, some people have their own agenda. Vision casting is important, charisma, team building.
And like you said, I had people who said, oh yes, I'll help, I love it, but they didn't really believe in the vision. They didn't have the same gusto that I had about it. So it didn't quite work the first time. And then I finished school, life happened. I have a daughter, so of course I have to be a mother full time. And then around 2013, people started asking, oh, where's Emerge? You know, you had all those articles before, where'd they go? And I said, I'm gonna try this again. This is the right time. You know, I'm more mature, I have more marketing background, I'm more confident in myself, and this is a passion that's never gone away. So it was the right time. God called me to do this magazine again. And it was his timing, and so everything just worked out that way. I got the graphic designer, my COO, Deshana Kemp, helped. I had people like Nikki Curry, publicist, brand manager, who's helped me. Daoud, who's all the way in California, he helped me, and I've never met him before. We've just spoken on the phone, emails, and he's helped me a lot. So I've had a lot of people support me and believe in the vision.
Now, see, I got to go back to something. We're dealing with a single mother here who had a vision, didn't have she didn't come from a family that does magazines, right?
Not at all.
So, and you had to pull together folks who some you didn't know, and try to explain this abstract idea in a way that they can all get on the same page and produce this magazine. There's some people out there right now who have an idea, who have ideas. And they may have some challenges. They may be single mothers. They may have had some past addictions. They may have, I don't know, anything could have happened in our lives. And your story inspires us that an idea does not have to remain in the abstract, but it can be concretized and realized in our everyday life. It can happen, right? That's one of the things I talk about in Unstoppable Success, is that get off the butt, right? And do something. So it's all about, oftentimes we meander in the wilderness of complacency, of resting on the but. I want to be successful, but. I want to produce a magazine, but. I want to go to college, but, right? But your story says that one day you said, okay, but is a good excuse. But if I'm going to make my life what I believe I'm called to become, I have to just start building the relationships, putting these pieces together, and as you went, more people came together with you, maybe more people saw the vision. Some people fell off. Some people said they were going to help and didn't. But look what you have done from them. Your story is quite empowering. It's quite empowering for those of us who may be watching right now, sitting on your couch just about to give up, just about to throw in the towel. You probably have an idea you've set on the bookshelf and thought, well, that idea doesn't mean that much. Let me tell you, God gave you that idea for a reason, and you can bless somebody else with the ideas that you have. It's amazing how ideas can be developed into something that can change the world.
And I am part of a nonprofit. My mother started a nonprofit called Access Virginia, and we provide open captioning for the deaf and hard of hearing. And we do that through the LED board, through display text. We also want to get into audio description for the blind so that they can be able to enjoy live theater. And it just provides equality. I mean, these people are so happy to go and understand the jokes, understand the singing that's going on stage, and art is very important to us as humans. So it's just another way we're all bringing each other together.
I think that's brilliant, because it's one thing to succeed as an entrepreneur, right? Business, get people to get your magazine, purchase a magazine, become subscribe to it, and all that business stuff, right? But then it's another thing to say, you know what? I'm not going to forget the people who may be down and out,
Right.
in need, have some challenges, some disabilities. To me, that, because success is not just about achieving something, achieving a magazine,
Right.
writing a book. Success is really the journey of principle. I live my life by principle.
Right.
And if we can't think about the people who may be deaf, or may be blind, or may be homeless, or in jail, or destitute, or in some need, right? We can't remember them. We can't pray for them. We can't lift a hand out to help them up, find a way in our idea bank to be of service to them. Then it all means nothing, does it?
Right, right. It's things I wouldn't even think of as far as going to a play. I've been to plays several times, and I never thought about the person sitting next to me that might not be able to hear what's going on. And it started with my mother actually offering her services. She's a court reporter by profession, and she offered her services to a deaf lady, or a lady who's going deaf. She's not all the way deaf now, because she wanted to go to church.
Wow.
And she couldn't, they wouldn't provide the services. So my mom drove from Newport News, Virginia to Virginia Beach 2 Sundays out of the month to provide this service so the lady could hear the pastor speaking.
Wow.
And that's where it all came from.
Sounds like your family have a great heart. And so that's tremendous. And I want to encourage somebody who's watching right now. God has given you gifts. He's given you talents. Please use them. And if you don't see a model out there to help you do what you want to do, create the model. Because God gives you the idea, He gives you the model, and you have to work. Trust me, I have a nonprofit too, and I have another business and all. And the thing is, nobody else is going to be able to do it but you.
That's right.
And so God has called for us to be leaders and not simply followers. He's called for us to be the head and not simply the tail. He's called for us to be above and not beneath. He's called for us to be in the marketplace. He's called for us to be in communication, in every aspect of influence in society. You mentioned that you are worldwide because of the World Wide Web. Would you just tell us what your website address is?
It's emergethemagazine.com.
emergethemagazine.com.